Good morning, everybody. Guess what day it is? It's moving day. Time to go to a new location. Just did our morning potties. Gonna have some breakfast, and then it's time to start packing her up. Try to bring you along with me and show you what I do. We're ready to go. Just emptying my black and gray tanks and topping off my freshwater tanks. See, the stupid hose fell over on me while I was emptying my tank, so I had to stand everything back up. And while I was filling the freshwater tank, I was going around and spraying a slide lube on the tracks underneath the slides before I put everything in. Then I haul my butt on top of the rig to sweep off the slides and make sure there's nothing on top of them that could get in the way and mess up the seals once I pull the slides in. Okay, we're hooked up, plugged in, jacks are up. All the doors are locked, steps are in, those chocks are up, those jacks are up. Yep. We are unplugged. That's locked. I think we're good to go. We've got everything locked into position. It's time to hit the road. Whew! It's hot. We're ready to hit the road. So let me take this off. These puppy dogs back here. Where's Tucker? He's over there. Harley's being a good girl. And Mama's sweating her ass off. It's 11:42. And I am, ooh, yuck, I'm nasty. I am done hooking up. We are ready to pull out and head to our next spot. So, yeah. We got the chocks up, the jacks up. Everything's unplugged. I got up this morning and I've got a video on here for you for, I dumped my gray and black water and I topped off my freshwater tanks. And got on top and swept off the slides. It didn't need it really that bad. There were a couple of leaves and stuff stuck underneath the seals that I got out of there. I also sprayed some slide lube on the underneath. And what else? Once all the outside stuff was done, we do the outside stuff first while it was still early morning and not so hot outside. And then do all the inside stuff like sweep and vacuum. So, you know, when you put the slides in, you don't mess up the floors, and make sure everything's secured. Anything that's not gets put away. And packed up little snacks and stuff for our road trip. And once the inside was done and the slides were in, I got all the trash together, and me and the dogs went for one last potty walk, and we took the trash to the dumpster. And once we were done with that, they stayed in the truck while I finished, you know, putting the jacks up and everything and hooking up. And so yeah. The only thing that was a little bit difficult was getting off of the leveling chocks, because the one in particular, the one behind the first wheel, you know, it's kind of wedged between the two wheels. So you have to get off of it just right to be able to get it out of there. It took me a few tries, but I got it out without losing my cool. So that's a win. So yeah, we're gonna hit the road. We don't need to stop for anything. We've got fuel, and we're coming back to town on Thursday. If there's anything I forgot to pick up or do here, I could do it then. So yeah, let's hit the road, Jack. Hey guys, so we are in our new spot. Yesterday was moving day. I've got some videos to put on here to show you a few of the things I did to get ready to move. And as you can see out our window, there is a road back there, but there's also a nice big grassy area with a bunch of pine trees that we can take the dogs walking and go and potty. And we actually have our own little grassy yard in front of the trailer. We're on an end spot on the end of one of the rows, so we are right across the street from that little dog area, which is great. This is a lovely little park. We only drove about an hour and 45 minutes northeast, and just that little bit of a drive, I know to some people that doesn't seem like, that seems like forever. But when you live in Texas, driving an hour anywhere is normal. So just that little bit of a drive completely changes the landscape and everything. Now it's not too hilly, and it's not like the Texas hill country or anything, but we're in the piney woods now. And oh, it's just gorgeous. One of the videos I took while we were driving down, there's a loop, and it's just it's a beautiful scenic drive because there's hardly no businesses on this loop, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, it was a very peaceful drive once I got to that point. Actually, the whole drive wasn't very bad. I had to go down a couple of major freeways and toll roads, but the only problem I really had was my road rage kicked in when I wasn't the slowest thing on the road. Guys, speed limit speed limit is 65 in most parts. I didn't go over 60. I mainly stayed around 55, and I tried to keep it on cruise, and inevitably someone in just a regular vehicle, not pulling a trailer or anything, decides to get in front of me and go slower on a freeway. Vert de Ferk. So anyways, that's the only issue I had with the drive. It was actually a nice drive, and the dogs were content. They laid in the back seat and they didn't make much noise. They were good. We got here and got checked in and were set up by 3 o'clock. And I was sweating profusely because I was setting up in the hottest part of the day. And it took a while for the AC to cool this bad boy off at first because it was so hot. And these windows, this side of our camper is facing west, so the afternoon sun is brutal. And my canopy only helps till about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. And then the sun has moved to where it's just coming underneath the canopy. But luckily that little dog walk area has a bunch of shade trees, so we can go potty in the shade. So yeah, I thought that once I move, I would kind of give a review of the last place I was at. And so the last place I was at was actually at my local fairgrounds. And I knew in the back of my head that they had an RV park because the electricians that I used to work for, we did work at the fairgrounds. And I know that they had, at certain times of year, especially fair time, you know, people would stay there, especially the people working at the carnival. And I didn't even really think about it until I got to thinking, oh, I don't want to move too far out of town because I have to come back to town for the glass show that weekend. And I was like, wait a minute, I wonder if I could park at the RV park because I'm working at the glass show. And because in my head, for some reason, I didn't think that the county rented it out to anybody. You know, it was like reserved for somebody at an event there or something. And I called them up and they're like, yeah, we rent it out year round. It's $20 a night. And it's full hookups. And it didn't matter whether you're working there or not. And I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, if you're looking for somewhere to stay in a pinch, check with your county, especially if you have a nice big fairground. It was a pretty decent rate compared to all the other parks I've checked. $20 a night is really damn good. And it was right there next to town, so while I was doing all my running and still having to, you know, go back and forth to my parents to pick up packages and stuff like that, while I still needed to be close to town, it was convenient. And for the most part, we had the whole place to ourselves. We only had 2 neighbors at one time. And then the last week, we pretty much had to ourselves. Just wandering around the parking lot. Tucker's meandering. He's leading the way. It's 5 o'clock on a Friday, so all the county guys are gone. And we are the only ones in the RV park, so we got this whole thing to ourselves. Okay, I'm sorry, you can keep going. They were very eager when I said walk, so we got outside and it thundered. It sprinkled on us for a little bit, but it's pretty quiet right now. It's a nice breeze, it's overcast. It's not hot at all. Feels good, huh, Tuck? Just feels good to get out and walk. Tucker's content. He just wanted to sit here and watch the cars go by. You ready to keep exploring, baby? Come on, Tuck. Tucker. Found some nice grass over here on this end of the parking lot. Now we got to work our way all the way back there. Now the downsides to that place was it was just a parking lot. If you saw in my videos, it was just, they took a section of the parking lot and made the spaces big enough for RVs, but they were just separated by white lines. It wasn't like each RV had their own little yard or anything. They were right on top of each other, and there was 2 rows backed up against each other, and then 1 row backed up against the fence line. They didn't have them marked. That's why I had such a problem getting into a spot, if you remember my last video and my frustrations with that. They didn't have them marked which ones were 30 or 50 amps. And the way they had it set up was a little wonky, I thought, because the last guy that came up told me I was facing the wrong way. And I'm like, but my hookups are right here. Why would I want to put my hookups on the opposite side of the trailer and have to run everything underneath? And then I was like, why would I turn around and put my hitch toward the middle line to where if someone parked behind me and I needed to leave, I couldn't back my truck up and leave? Why would I do that? Now, I didn't have that problem because it stayed empty. But why would you do that? So anyways, it was a little confusing. It was just a big open parking lot, so there were no shade trees. There was no shade. You had to walk a little ways to get to the grassy area for the dogs. And they had a truck out there spraying, so I had to be careful where I took them, because some of that they were spraying to kill some of the weeds instead of mowing them down. And the daily rate was good, but they only let you pay a week at a time, and they didn't have a special weekly or monthly rate. So the park I'm staying in now, their daily rate's $29, but they have a monthly rate of $350. Which is really, I mean, I paid, because it's $20 a night, and I stayed 2 weeks at the fairgrounds. That's $280 for 2 weeks, and now I'm paying $350 for a whole month, plus electricity. But we'll see how much I use. I don't know. This first time I've had it metered, so we'll see how much I use in a month. Getting new neighbors. There's a lot of people out here with dogs, so they have plenty to bark out the window at when someone's walking their dog. Our neighbor has kids, and they were out in the dog area playing frisbee yesterday evening when we went out to go potty. They wanted those kids real bad, and the kids wanted them. They were all going, puppies, puppies. Y'all are shaking the camper. Harley, chill. Somebody mowed their yard this morning too, which is nice. Are you guys done? I see what it is. The Doberman's outside playing. She's got a young Doberman, and it's very playful, and she's got it on a retractable leash so she can like throw the ball for it and stuff, and it can run and go get it back. And here comes another neighbor with another dog. It's gonna take a while. She finally got thirsty, so she shut up. And she's back. Well, that was some insanity. One of the dogs left. The other one walked around to where she couldn't see. Then the lady on the lawnmower came by and mowed our actual front yard, and they had to bark at her, and then the other dog came back into view, and when he finally walked away, then it thundered and she had to bark at that. We might not keep the windows open all the time. Maybe I should just keep this one open, because this is nice. And that's got a nice view, but you get to see everybody that goes by, and they bark the whole time. Anyways, where was I? The cons of the fairgrounds: it's just a big open asphalt parking lot, no shade, gets very hot, you're right on top of each other, you don't have an actual yard or anything or much space. You have to walk a ways to get to a grassy area for the dogs. They don't have a weekly or monthly rate. There is a bathroom, a building with bathrooms, and I believe there was one shower in the bathroom also that they keep open, and only the people in the RV park have access. It's closed to the inside of the gate where the fairway of the carnival and stuff is usually at. And they put a dumpster out there for us so we could put our trash in there. So it doesn't have all the niceties, but it's full hookups, and it's relatively cheap, and it's convenient, and it's right there in town. So when I go back for the holidays or something, if I just need to go into town for a few days, I know I can always stop there. It's also, they don't take reservations. It's first come, first serve. And they have 36 spots. And I thought it was going to get filled up for the glass show, but apparently most of those people are elderly and they just can't handle a camper, so they just stay in the hotels nearby. One of the people from the glass show came and camped over the weekend. And that's it. So it was good for us to get our feet wet. We stayed there for 2 weeks, and now it's on to bigger, better things. We have already moved up because now it's not paved, it's a gravel road, but at least we're on a gravel pad. We're not in the grass worrying about whether it's going to rain or not. We have an actual yard, and Harley likes to explore the little miniature pine forest over there. There is a pond here, but they don't have it cleared off around the pond, so you really can't get to it to go fishing or anything. But it is not a huge park, and you can tell some of the people on the back row are more permanent monthly renters, like they live out here. So thank you guys for tuning in and letting me catch you up on things. I will try to keep you up to date. If you follow me on Instagram, or I'm actually going to make a Facebook page to go along with it for the Wandering Sleeve. If you want to follow us there, I will post, like on my Instagram, I've been posting, random pictures and stuff of what we're doing in between videos too. So, yeah. If you like what you see and you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the little notification bell so you get a notification when I put up new content. And as always, thank you so much for all the support and all the well wishes. And I mean, everybody that I talk to is just so excited about what I'm doing, and that just makes it even better. So I am relieved to finally be doing it, and excited for what's to come. So until next time, be happy, be free, and be you. Bye. Well, that was some insanity.